Hey guys, how's it going? So, in the latest Nintendo Direct, we got some pretty cool announcements. A new Mario Strikers, Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Kart 8 got some new DLC, Xenoblade 3 even got revealed at the end. But there was one entry that got me extremely hyped for its imminent release. I can't not talk about the new trailer for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I mean, have you guys seen this game? Every new piece of information we get about this game makes me want it more and more. This really looks like it could shape up to be one of Kirby's greatest outings, period. Okay, so since I don't want to just sit here and incoherently gush about Kirby, let's go through what we learned in this trailer step by step. The biggest feature of this trailer was, of course, mouthful mode. Still a little bit weirded out by that name. But either way, I absolutely adore this concept. The forms are so goofy and out of place, and yet they ooze the same charm that the Kirby series is known for. I love Kirby, or Carby as we're calling him, and I want him to be put into like every Nintendo racing game going forward. Like, why was Carby not featured in the Mario Kart 8 DLC? He's right there. Like, come on Nintendo, that would have been a great opportunity. Anyways, I've always been a fan of expansive movesets and movement options in 3D platformers, and this gimmick swings the door wide open for those aspects. It's the wacky type of stuff that I love from the Kirby series, and this feels like a feature that naturally belongs in a Kirby game. Of course, all these different forms sort of harken back to the capture mechanic that was in Super Mario Odyssey, and this game is taking a lot of cues from that game to be honest, but I don't think that that's a problem whatsoever. In fact, the capture mechanic was always something that I felt would feel more natural in a Kirby game instead. The idea of being able to capture an item and use its properties to your advantage feels like an evolution of the standard copy abilities that are a staple for the series. While we're talking about evolution, I have got to gush about the idea of evolving copy abilities. It's such a simple concept, but it's going to breathe so much new life into existing copy abilities that have already been with Kirby for decades. It feels almost like a natural evolution of mechanics from past Kirby games, such as the combining abilities from 64 and the super abilities from Return to Dreamland. I love the designs that we saw for some of the evolved copy abilities as well. The design of each one helps emphasize how much more potent they are than their base form, and each upgrade seems to have its own unique style and flair, which is really nice to see. I especially like the upgraded version of Needle, due to it looking just like the double needle ability from Kirby 64. So it's cool to see callbacks like that. I like that they really do seem to be more than just cosmetic changes as well, which makes me wonder, is there going to be an actual need or incentive to upgrade your copy abilities other than just for the sake of making Kirby this crazy powerhouse? I get the feeling that the implementation of upgrading copy abilities isn't just being done for an arbitrary purpose. This gives me hope that the difficulty could potentially ramp up in this game. I'm not asking for an insanely hard Kirby game, but it would be nice for longtime fans of the series to have the option for a bit of a challenge. They might even have it where, if you want more of a challenge, keep your abilities how they are to start. But if you want to scale alongside the enemies as the game goes on, then you could choose to upgrade abilities as you see fit. The other cool part about this game is it could potentially be more lengthy than previous entries. This may be wishful thinking, but if they have a progression system, if you pair that with the idea of building up Waddle Dee Town over time, it looks to me like this game could potentially be longer than what we're used to with the series. So, the final major thing that they showed in the trailer was a bit more insight into the enemies that we're going to be going up against. We already knew that we were facing an animal-based villainous group based on some of the enemy designs, including the ape from the first trailer. But now we have seen a bit more of these bosses. We now have what looks to be some sort of leopard boss, and no, I'm not going to talk about how the internet reacted to her, as well as some wacky armadillo boss. These bosses at first glance seem somewhat out of place in the world of Kirby, but I kind of feel like that's the point. This is a new and strange world for Kirby, so it makes sense for some of the enemy designs to feel a bit foreign to the series. In terms of something familiar to Kirby, however, we did get a glimpse at who we can assume to be Dedede. He looks a bit more rugged from behind, and I would not be surprised if something happened to him to make him more beast-like than what he's typically like. I mean, Dedede getting manipulated by some other big bad is just a series staple at this point, and come to think of it, his new design might give us some insight into what exactly is going on with the antagonistic force of this game. Based on some of the designs of existing Kirby enemies seen especially on the Japanese site like Gigant Edge and Mr. Frosty, I would not be surprised if the villain's big evil plan is to capture some of these existing Kirby characters and turn them into vicious beasts. It would explain why the Beast Gang is capturing Waddle Dees in the first place, and it would give Kirby a motive to go to this strange new land, and it opens up the opportunity for some really interesting takes on other existing enemies. But that's just me wildly speculating at this point. So yeah, that's really all there was to the trailer. If I wasn't already hyped for this game, this trailer sent my hype through the roof, and March 25th cannot come soon enough. I'm so excited to dig into this game, and ironically enough, I really don't want to see any more news about it. I kinda want majority of this game to be a mystery, considering that this is a bold new frontier for Kirby, and I want to have a good first impression with what is potentially a new era for the series as we know it. I want this game to exceed my expectations, because Kirby has sorta gotten stale as a series as of late, and this could really be the big push the series needs to truly be incredible again. Once again, I'm looking forward to this game, and I can't wait to play it. But for now, that's enough out of me. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Later!